Hello and welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Bitcoin rainbow chart as well as current Bitcoin price action. And let's start off with fear and greed. You guys can see we are down in the fear, so we have to be looking for opportunities in this market. Anytime we're hanging down here, we might have some really good deals on altcoins, Bitcoin, any of the mining stocks. So we want to keep our eyes peeled for that. As far as crypto fear and greed over time, we've been talking about how we've been in this downtrend of greed into fear, and we just have these lower highs, lower lows. I was wondering if we were possibly getting a reversal here, getting some higher lows, but it is starting to go sideways. So if it starts to turn over, then this is just another lower low. Of course, if you guys are like me and you're most concerned with any of the Bitcoin mining stocks and altcoins, you want to remember the Bitcoin dominance cycle. And when Bitcoin dominance is going up, not always the best time to take profits, but it can lead to good price action or good opportunities to dollar cost average in, make some long-term plays on any altcoins or mining stocks. And when Bitcoin dominance goes down, that tends to be a better time for those holdings. As far as the alt season index, really, we have to put it on the longer time frame. Let's switch that over. And yeah, really nothing new. We are still in this uptrend. I am still waiting to see when we get any one of these peaks. Are we going to get one peak, two peaks? Compared to last time, it really doesn't have data from 2017. So curious to see what happens there if we just slowly chop up higher highs, higher lows. But I am expecting there will come a time where it just pops off. I don't think that time is soon, but you never know. I rather be dollar cost averaging into some of my altcoins and mining stocks now than waiting for it to pop off and then go for it. Sorry about my dogs. So anyways, here on the rainbow chart, you guys can see we are at the lower edge of the still cheap zone, hovering right above the accumulate zone, that teal box underneath the green box. And we have rate cuts coming up. So one thing I've been talking about is even if Bitcoin gets down into that accumulate zone, that teal zone, the lowest price it has there is 46,000. And the reason 46K, you guys can see it there in the third box on the left side, it shows a range. Even in accumulate, it says 46 to 60,000. And even if that's to happen, oh boy, my dog's going crazy right now. Even if that's to happen, one thing I want you guys to look out for is this 100-week moving average, which is right at the lower end of that zone. And we have some price action back here. So I wouldn't be too worried if that were to happen. And I'll just say this right now, market psychology, it's about challenging our mindset. And it's very easy as retail investors, or as big money likes to call us, dumb money. It's very easy to just cut our losses and go. But guys, that's how you sell lows and buy highs. That's how people buy into the pumps and sell into the dumps. You don't want to do that. And do keep in mind in 2019, when there was the mid-cycle top, that was right around just like this time where there was Fed rate cuts. Now our mid-cycle top happened in March, obviously not so close to the rate cuts. But still, when they had rate cuts, they had these 30% corrections. But I want you to pay attention to the light blue line. Bitcoin got down to the 100-week moving average. Now over here, this was the COVID dump. That's a black swan event. I'm not really considering it as part of the norm for this cycle. I think without COVID, maybe we would have just seen another wave to the 100 and then gone back up, so it went down and sideways for a bit. So the fact that Bitcoin is turned red again on the weekly, right now it has the 50-week moving average in the lower end of this channel right here at around 54, 55K. That has to hold. And if not, then we have the 786 fib at 50. And of course, I think this is a lot of support. And I would not be missing these areas if I were an investor. And if you do believe in the Bitcoin rainbow chart, to some effect, you also believe in the cycle. Now, I've been in this cycle in 2017 and 2021, and I'll tell you, myself, not financial advice for you guys, I believe in the cycle, and I don't mind buying and holding and dollar cost averaging from a monthly budget because you never want to invest more than you can afford to lose. But I'm going to play my odds with this. And if I pick the right altcoins, that's a whole separate battle. If I pick the right mining stocks and we get another cycle top here where Bitcoin price goes somewhere in the orange or red zones, then it'll all be worth it. And now is the time the dollar cost average in. So that's paid off for me twice before. And these were not fun times to invest in. And I'll tell you, this current situation right now, it reminds me the most of post 2019, early 2020. The amount of people that thought crypto was done, it was over with, that the sky was falling, and ended up turning out okay. And guys, when things are okay, as you can see, reflect on the Bitcoin rainbow chart, it's only okay for a matter of months. And something else to consider, let's hop over to the Bitcoin dominance because we were looking at that not long ago. You can see that when Bitcoin dominance tanks here, and you can see the dates at the bottom, it tanked for about a month here in late December, early January, and here in April. This was about a month and a half. When it tanks, that's when alts, if you pick the right ones, go parabolic, 5, 10, 20x, whatever. So right now, Bitcoin dominance, let's actually talk about this for a little. It's challenging and breaking above this trend line that I have drawn from the bottom of the dominance cycle last time in 2021. We have this angled line that hit the peak and this horizontal line that hit the bottom. And right now, Bitcoin dominance, it's funny how it hit those markers right as they converge and is possibly getting ready to go above. So if you don't know what Bitcoin dominance means, it means that 57.5% of all money in crypto is in Bitcoin. And when this goes up, it's a flight to safety. And it's the same with Tether dominance. Tether is a stable coin, always has a value of 1. Make sure to hydrate, get a sip of water yourself. And 6% of all crypto money is in Tether because people don't like the volatile price action. They rather just retain their Satoshi value. So if this is to go higher, the other area I'm looking for, not too much higher, 62%. I've seen a lot of people talking about dominance maybe getting up to 70%. And hey, maybe that happens. But in my opinion, this was the absolute minimum. We've reached that. And the maximum I'm looking for is 62. After that, I believe it's go time. Let's go back to Bitcoin. And something you see that I've drawn down here, this is the stochastic RSI. That's this indicator right here. $1 cost averaging strategy I use, not financial advice, is when the blue rips above the orange. Now you can see the blue is going under the orange. This is on the weekly time frame that I play this strategy out. And you only get so many opportunities. Now I also look at fibs and lower or longer moving averages as deep value. Buy signals, I'll turn that on in a second, but it does look like the blue is flipping under the orange, so it is possible. Plus the fact that I have Heikin-Ashi candles on and we have one red candle. Usually we get them in pairs or more. So it is possible that Bitcoin could be headed down in the near term. Let's throw on one of those buy-sell signal indicators. I like to use this one in a bullish market. And right now, we just got a weekly sell signal. Now, again, Heikin-Ashi candles cuts out the noise. It'll show you the trend. Sometimes the trend's only good for a couple weeks. So typically, if we get a sell signal, if we get one red candle, I'm expecting another red candle, 2 or 3. I'm sure you have heard, if you pay attention to stocks or crypto, September tends to be one of the worst months for investing. But even though they say that, guys, it's not the worst. Let me rephrase it. It's not the worst month for investing. It's worst month for just stocks in general. So a lot of times you'll just see stocks dip a certain percentage. Again, we have fear in the market. We know dips are coming. That's probably a great opportunity to make a plan now and think about what stocks or cryptos do you want to get in long term. For crypto, because we have the rainbow chart, I look at it as more of a trade vestor. So I like to get in at the low zones and then get out at the high zones. That's part of my plan, and taking profits where I can, rotating it into something less volatile. So anyways, a couple other things to watch for. Let's put this back on auto. We've had this trend line. Bitcoin's been climbing around, and we are underneath that trend line. In my opinion, whenever any asset is at or above the 50-week moving average, we're still bullish. So for me, the sky's not falling. We could still see a bounce down here. And I am going to be seriously considering making some more plays into the crypto market should the price action get down here. I'm going to look for opportunities. If it gets down here, I'm going to be looking even harder and considering maybe putting in more than the average of my budget, putting in money from prior budgets before. So let's take a quick look at tether dominance, because we were talking about this before. Tether dominance, it hits this trend line every time we have a local top. This is the one we want to take off. This was the 2017 top, 2019 mid-cycle top, the top before COVID, of course, our double top in 2021, and recently right here. And right now, tether dominance to me looks very bullish. You can see here on the weekly, it came down. The last time it came down, hit the 20, and after it came up, came back down, hit the 10. So this thing's very bullish. It's challenging the 382 fib. So if it starts, it may get a little rejection here, but if it gets above, you're going to see Bitcoin and crypto prices go even lower. And again, create opportunities for some deals for us. Let's go back over to Bitcoin. One of the areas, speaking of this trend line, that I've been watching for is later this year, because that is the average from new all-time highs, which for the first time we had earlier this year, before the halving. First time ever we had a new all-time high right before the halving, and the average from that point was 300 days. That puts us at later this year. We have that trend line meeting there, along with, you guys can see this, the double top trend line of Bitcoin. Now there's another bit of convergence here, and that's if we take our fib off log, which you want to do when you look for higher prices or price targets. The 1618 is right around at 100K. So we have a bit of convergence here. I'm really interested to see. I'm not trying to make a prediction, but it seems like there's a lot of gravity right here pulling Bitcoin price possibly be around 100K at the end of this year. And then what's going to happen? Is it going to continue higher? Is it going to go lower? I have this red line. It's kind of a line in the sand for the 4-year cycle. Again, this isn't a hard line that I'm going to necessarily stick to. I just want to see if it plays out. But there's an average of 484 days from the white line. That's the halving to the next peak, and that would be in August of next year. So again, I'm not saying this has happened, but what I'm looking for is this basically as a range, and for a possible 4-year cycle top to be somewhere in that range between the end of this year and August of next year. Okay, I don't care when the top is. I care when Bitcoin dominance tanks. That's what I'm looking at withdrawing my holdings, and I care about when the rainbow chart is starting to rip up. Tether dominance as well. Care about some of those macro indicators more than following a time prediction, repeating fractals. A lot of people fall in this trap that because something happened before, because Bitcoin does this, it's cyclical. There's a lot of mathematical patterns that you can pull from it. Because it's cyclical in so many ways, people get drawn into repeating fractals, trying to predict when and how much things are going to happen. Again, I don't care. If we are up into the orange, if tether dominance, that trend line is getting hit, if Bitcoin dominance is falling, the pi cycle indicator, we've talked about that before, gets hit, I'm looking for that. So end of this year, where would that put us if we were to get at 100K? You could see the 100K is in that yellow box. Okay, so that's only halfway up. I could see the yellow to maybe that light orange box. That's at around 110 to 150K. If we do get a 4-year cycle and we're around that time in August, like the average from the halving shows, I wouldn't doubt if we are deep in that orange box, the light orange box, 140 to 180K. The 2618 fib puts us at around 150K. So that's what I'm watching for. So guys, anyways, the point of this video is some of my regular subscribers are noticing, yes, I'm repeating some things. And the point is we want to have a simplified plan at least for me, not financial advice for you. And we want to stick to it because as the market dips, as it rips, that's when our emotions get in the way. And you want to be able to go back to your plan and be like, wait, I'm ready for this. There's fear in the market. We are maybe getting into these lower zones, deeper value. If I'm going to get into crypto, I really need to have a plan of what altcoins, what mining stocks I want to get into. Am I going to consider, something like the buy sell signals, like I've talked about before, moving averages, fibs, the stochastic RSI that I took off earlier? There are many ways to go about this. Pick a way or ways that work for you. But now's that time. Now's that time you want to be getting ready to act out your plans. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I went on a wonderful hike, had a great weekend. And yeah, hope you all have a fantastic week. Take care.